every second of the game.
Corey, Nando, and Friends, presented by Mayo Media on Bettor Sports Network.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on. There it goes. Deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Number 62 to set the new American League record. Aaron Judge hits his 62nd. All the Yankees out of the dugout to greet him.
Aaron, when you look at the last couple of weeks when it really became a home run chase, what do you think you will remember most about this experience?
The fans, the fans at home, the fans on the road, the constant support, seeing Yankee Stadium on their feet for every single at bat. They're booing pitchers for throwing balls, which I've never seen before. And, I think I got a base hit the other night and I was getting booed for a single. It's just, little moments like that you look back on and, would have been great to do it at Yankee Stadium in front of our home fans. But I know a lot of, Yankee fans, they travel well. And there's a lot of Yankee fans here tonight and, getting a chance to share that experience with the fans. And, that's what it's about for me.
Corey, Nando, and Friends, presented by Mayo Media.
Yo, what's up? Welcome inside Corey, Nando, and Friends, presented by Mayo Media, sponsored by Jock Market. It's your boy Corey Parson, the fantasy executive. Nando will be joining us shortly today. Got a big program on deck, obviously looking to get back into the NFL week as your Thursday night football coming up. Jonathan Taylor, my guy Jonathan Taylor, who I ranted and raved about all the month of August, is going to be out for this game, Colts versus Broncos tomorrow night. That 3.5 is back. So if you missed that hook yesterday, you got another chance to get it. I still like the Colts in the game right here. Got a college football game tonight. Break that down, handicap that a little bit later on. I made a Walmart trip today. I picked up a couple interesting things, but this is something right here that I picked up. So this is like a package slab, Gems of the Game. It's got one graded card inside of it, right? You see it got Trevor Lawrence on the front. It got Justin Fields on the back. I'll let you know who I got when I picked it up earlier today from Walmart. But obviously, you know what I'm saying, the big story coming into the day, Aaron Judge, now the American League home run leader. He passes Babe Ruth, Roger Maris. Really the big story of the day is Roger Maris Jr. gets to go back into hiding wherever he was going. We don't have to worry about seeing him no more. But you know what? Shout out to Aaron Judge. You know what I'm saying? It was cool to see him get it done. Now, me, media critic Corey Parson, I'm kind of like a Andrew Marchand, Jimmy Traynor, Bob Raceman type guy. We're going to go through these calls, right? The home run calls, set it up. I'll give my, my breakdown of the home run calls, and then listen to the conversations about it this morning. Obviously, Stephen A. and Mad Dog was phenomenal once again. With Mad Dog, being the baseball purist, saying that Aaron Judge is the home run champion, which he is not. The home run champion is Barry Bonds. Let's get that straight. But it's still that number 62 is a very special number to baseball. So definitely don't want to take nothing away from Aaron Judge and what he was able to do. So shout out to him for that. All right, so let's get ready. First up, I want to break down first when Nando gets here, we'll talk about the dude that caught the ball and the dude that jumped down to try to get the rebound in case something went wrong. Hopefully he's okay. I don't know if that was your man Frankie Lasagna trying to make sure he didn't mess it up this time. I don't know if he went out to Arlington, the ballpark at Arlington, to try to make up for it. But we'll discuss that when Nando gets here. But let's start it up. Let's set up the 62, the history-making call, and let's start with I guess you can say, you know what? I'm going to say the television voice of the New York Yankees, right? Not the voice of the New York Yankees, the television voice of the New York Yankees, Mr. Michael Kay.
High fly ball, deep left. There it goes, soaring into history. He's done it. He has done it. 62. Aaron Judge is the American League single-season home run leader. BAL King. Case closed.
All right, so it's cool. You know what I'm saying? A little bit of air to breathe, right, for Kay, right? He lets his audience, he lets the crowd come in. You hear the crowd pretty good. He hits some of his things. There it goes. See ya. Some of his signature calls right there. And obviously at the end, he gives it a case closed. You know what I'm saying? Solid, you know what I mean? But I would expect for a historic call a little bit more for Michael Kay, him being the television voice of the Yankees, or maybe we could say the national voice of the Yankees. Now, if you don't live in the New York area, you don't really know, you may not know who the real voice of the Yankees is, but if you rate that 1 to 10, I would say Kay gets a 7.5, maybe an 8. I give Kay an 8 for that one right there. I thought it was solid, but I want to get more history. Like, I want it to be more memorable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Mike Breen would have done a much better job with that one right there. But obviously, Mike Breen is the GOAT in my opinion. I give him an 8. If you whatever you want to give Michael Kay, you can go down there and throw it in the comment section. But I give Michael Kay an 8 on the Aaron Judge home run call. I know everybody that watched college football over the weekends are happy that you don't have to worry about Aaron Judge cutting in no more, or Aaron Judge's bats cutting in no more to take away your college football from you. So that's Michael Kay. Next, I always like to hear the visiting team. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, Kay, Sterling, these guys travel with the Yankees all year long. It's a special feeling for them. Now, in the case of the Texas Rangers, this is just something that's happening in their ballpark. You know what I'm saying? So this is like a historic moment for them. May not mean as much, but still, you want to hear the opposing broadcast because you really get a chance to see how much of it is history it is across the rest of the sports world. So let's go down to Arlington, Texas. Eric Nadal and Matt Hicks on the Texas Ranger radio network.
1-1 to Aaron Judge. Here's the pitch. And there's a swing, and there's a high fly ball to deep left field. Bubba Thompson back. He's at the wall. That ball is history. Aaron Judge has broken the American League home run record. The Yankees are pouring out of the dugout to greet him at home plate. Globe Life Field is on its feet. Hugs all around for Aaron Judge in the dirt circle around home plate. The wait is over. 62 home runs for Aaron James Judge.
There you go right there. Texas Ranger radio broadcast right there. Solid call, you know what I'm saying? He did give the moment. He let the moment breathe, gave it the time to see the audience reaction. I like that ball is history, you know what I'm saying? Because obviously that ball is history. I like the way he breaks down the Yankees rushing out the dugout, the Yankees around the dugout to meet them. So a solid call, you know what I'm saying? Also in the 7.5 to 8 range, a solid road opponent call. You know what I'm saying? Like understanding the moment, you know what I mean? Realizing that you don't want to step on it and painting the picture for the radio listening audience who knows it's a historic moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's call number 2 right there. I would go 7.5 to 8 on that one. What's up, Nando? What's good with you, my man? I am ranking. I'm putting my media critic hat on today. I'm Jimmy Traynor. I'm Bob Raceman. I'm Andrew Marchand. I'm ranking the home run calls. We've already heard the national voice of the New York Yankees and Michael Kay. And that one just now was the Texas Rangers radio call.
Oh, I thought you were Are you prompting one?
No, not. I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready to drop the third one, but I wanted to welcome you to the program. How you doing, sir?
I'm great, man. Sorry about technical issues. Yeah, traffic. But who's the Rangers? Who's the booth? Is a former player?
Matt Hicks, who I believe is a former player, and Eric Nadal.
All right, cool. Good for it. Was good.
I thought it was solid. You know what I'm saying? If you want to hear it, we can run it back. This is
no, don't worry, please.
Okay.
This is about the people, not about me.
Okay, cool.
But maybe after this, we can hear Adolis Garcia's home run call. You know, from
the one that won you the card. Yeah, that is also we got to get that one. We do got to get that one.
I should have smarter requested that. Yeah, I bought 2 Judge cards that we can talk about later too.
All right, cool. And I got something to show you too. I made a trip to Walmart this afternoon, and I saw something different. I already shared it with the audience, but I think you'll get a kick out of it. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Now, here we go. So we set up the first 2. Now, obviously, maybe I'm a homer, maybe I'm a traditionalist, but as far as I'm concerned, John Sterling, Susan Waldman, hands down the voice of the New York Yankees. You know what I'm saying? That's the radio call. Now, Sterling's a quirky old guy, and obviously Waldman, you know, Roger Clemens was in the boat. You know what I mean? Everybody remembers that. Yeah, Roger Clemens is in George's boat. You know what I'm saying? Susan Waldman with the cigarette smoking voice. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, he's awesome.
My man John Sterling, once again, last night was totally 100% in his bag. Here is the voice of the New York Yankees, John Sterling, on Aaron Judge's historic home run call.
Here's the 1-1. Swung on. There it goes. Deep left. It is high. It is far. It is gone. Number 62 to set the new American League record. Aaron Judge hits his 62nd. All the Yankees out of the dugout to greet him. Just think of it. 3 Yankee right fielders. The Babe hitting 60 and 27. The Jolly Roger hitting 61 and 61. And now Aaron Judge hits his 62nd home run, the most home runs any American leaguer has hit in a single season. And the American League has been alive for 120 years. This is Judgment Day. Case closed.
Fabulous. Fantastic. I don't see you perking up like this was the greatest home run call you ever heard in your life. But he gives you the high, the far, the going. You know what I'm saying? His signature stuff.
Yeah.
He lets the crowd get it a little bit. But obviously, Sterling is going to talk as well. Sets the scene. Yankees coming out around the dugout. And then, you know what I'm saying? The Babe, Jolly old Roger, you know what I mean? The Judge, you know what I mean? Case closed, the whole shebang.
That's
John Sterling, that's a 10. That's a 10
No,
right
it's
there,
not.
Nando. That's a 10.
Well, you know what it was until he had to go shticky at the end. Case closed.
You didn't like the case
There's
closed?
still games left. It's not even case closed. He might hit
It's
63 or
judgment.
64.
It's Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying?
That doesn't make sense either. Like, do the pun if you want, but who's judging him?
Nando clearly not a fan of John Sterling.
I'm just saying, like, no, you know what? I'm a fan of puns. And if you're gonna try and make a pun, at least it's gotta make sense. You know what I mean? Case closed is not closed. He's got another game.
He does have another game, but case closed. He's the American League home run leader. Case closed. It's Judgment Day. Love
Not really.
it.
I mean, that's
A
always
10.
open. Next year, Jordan Alvarez could hit 70.
Jordan Alvarez, one season later, breaks the record.
Jordan
Case
Almonds.
closed.
Yeah.
Jordan, you're gone.
My Don, Jordan.
Yeah.
63. And hey, the American League's been around for 121 years.
Oh, Nando, you buzzkill.
I'm a buzzkill. I'm just speaking truth. Right? Like, I mean, like I could make puns about your name, but if they don't make any sense, like, what's the point?
Judgment Day. You know what I'm saying? Case closed. Love it. Shout out to John Sterling for making it fun.
Aaron Judge not in the lineup today. Aaron Judge not in the lineup today for the regular season. That's messed up. People buy
Aaron
tickets.
Judge. I mean, he's tired, bro. He's got to be. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe he'll pinch hit. I bet you he pinch hits.
You know, it was interesting last night. Are they back at the stadium?
They have this last game of the season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
for this one last game. I guess you're right. They're not really appeasing a home crowd. They're just kind of screwing over the Rangers fans.
So
I don't even know who they're playing
still,
tonight. I assume that it's not like a one game.
They're still in Texas.
Yeah.
So they'll be home when the playoffs start, and they'll face the winner of the series between the Blue Jays and their opponent. Skips my mind. I'm sorry.
The Cleveland,
the Guardians. Yeah, the Guardians.
Yeah,
they play the winner of the Guardians and Rays series. So I'll be looking forward to that. You know, we break that down for you. John Legueza, our MLB correspondent, will break down these series. Will get us ready for Jock Market. If you haven't signed up for Jock Market yet, don't forget, hop on there, do your boys a favor. Promo code FRIENDS.
It's a favor to us, I guess, but it's also, I mean, like,
it's a favor to you, really. Yeah, you get some bread. We want to try to win.
I feel like Corey and I are very similar in, like, we take the people who watch our show very seriously.
Yeah.
We want you to call in. We want you to be part of the show. We're not going to, if it seems like we're just reading stuff, then we're just reading stuff. Jock and Margaret were actually saying, like, it's a cool game. You could actually, if you know fantasy, you could probably win some money in there. And we're trying to do our best by bringing, like, John Legueza to tell you how to do it.
Yeah,
so
because he know it real good. You know what I'm saying? Like, he studied it, and he's a cool cat. You know what I mean? So I like him. I think he's dope, dude. A nice guy to be friends with us.
He loves you,
he's
man.
Part of the family. Yeah.
Loves
Corey
Carson.
I'm OG. I've been around for a little bit.
Who do you think's going to win this Cleveland-Tampa series?
Should
we wait for Legueza, or should we? Let's get into a little bit.
We can get into a little bit. This is an interesting series. I just think Tampa is a battle-tested team.
Yeah.
I like the way they're set up. I think this is now. Wait a minute. This is best of 5. What are we doing here? To be honest with you, I don't know.
I've been so into football. Really.
This is the best of 3. Short series like this, Cleveland can jump out, right? But I think I would go Tampa. I think I would go Tampa to win this series.
I feel like Cleveland has a very Tampa mindset. Like their front office, has that same kind of Tampa. They just have that feel to them.
Oh, they don't travel this series. They stay in one city for these series.
Nice.
That's cool. That makes sense for a 3-game set.
Cleveland's
it's like a regular season. Basically it's like, okay, we're going to Cleveland for 3 games.
Yeah, I guess you've earned the right. And why do unnecessary travel?
Yeah,
right. That's good for the carbon footprint. Good job, MLB.
Yeah, and then like the road team is Tampa, which ain't nobody but Dick Vitale be at the game. You know,
I was going to say, who cares? Like, we don't get home games.
Dick Vitale cares. He's a big Tampa Bay Rays fan.
That's going to be interesting because you know what? Like they're very pitching wins series and stuff. Cleveland's got some nasty pitching, man. They got nasty pitching.
Yeah, they do.
The Rays do that, 5 innings, then we'll bring in the bullpen, which is nasty.
But that's how you win in the postseason.
Yeah.
Get the game short. Postseason is about bullpens, right? Postseason baseball is about bullpens and clutch hitting.
Yeah.
Whoever's got the best bullpen and whoever can hit the ball in the clutch, that's who's going to eventually end up advancing in every series. That Mets Padres series is going to be interesting.
That could ruin Mets fans forever. That series.
That would be. Can you imagine the season they had? They just be going at by Monday
by a team with their best player out for the entire season with a suspension and a broken wrist from a motorcycle accident.
Man, the
Mets still find a way to win.
That would be the craziest Met thing ever. But no love lost over on this side.
Here's your wild card series. The Padres are plus 145, Mets minus 175. The Guardians are minus 130 to the Rays plus 110. So that's pretty even, I would say. This is New Jersey.
A big favorite in that series to be $1.75. That's a big series. I mean, that's a big number for a first round playoff series.
I like plus 140. I mean, of the wild cards, that's the highest. That's the best.
That's Tampa is plus 140.
Tampa is plus 110.
Oh, so who's plus 140?
No, hold on. The Padres against the Mets. The Padres are plus 145. The Mets are minus 175.
Okay, got it.
The Guardians and the Rays. The Guardians are minus 130. The Rays are plus 110. Blue Jays and Mariners. Blue Jays minus 170. Mariners plus 140 is something I might jump on.
You like the Mariners, huh? Mariners are exciting and they seem fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We like fun stuff.
Hold on. I'm gonna work a parlay card with some of these and see what happens.
I tried that 1 year and I didn't get out the first round.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe I won't.
Didn't get out the first round
because I would go Mets, I would go Guardians, and I would go Mariners. I think the Mariners with that Luis Castillo trade that changes that. I gotta verify my. Come on, man! I don't want to verify my mobile number. I just want.
I hate when they make you. But then again, I mean, I'm offshore, but when I was regulated. I hate those verifications. I'm trying to sign in and make something shake. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I just put a $5 bet on just the Mariners by accident. Hold on. Add more. Hold on. All right. So $5 on the Mariners, the Guardians, and the Mets. That's plus 567.
It's not bad. I might tell that. The Mariners, the Guardians, and the Mets.
Yeah.
I know as soon as the Mets found out I got my money on them, they could be like, activate losing.
Right. $5 will win you 33-36. There we go. All right. Well, I somehow have $10 on the Mariners in the postseason now.
All right.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks confusing, half paying attention.
What about the Phillies and Cardinals? No lean in that series?
Let's see. Series total game, wild card series, played appearance. Oh man, hold on. This is gonna take a second.
Maybe they don't have the odds up there yet. I just was curious. What would you think? If you had to guess the odds for that series, what would you think?
For the Cardinals?
Phillies and Cardinals, yeah.
Dude, I think the Phillies have momentum. I would say the Cardinals are like a dumb minus 130. I'm so sick of the Cardinals, man. I'm not
a Cardinal fan at all.
I'm just like, I don't know. They're so boring and so like buttoned up and always there. And the Cardinals fans are so polite.
Well, they say they polite, but don't believe that foolishness.
That's a good point.
They say they polite. That's an urban legend. The Cardinals fans are polite. That's an urban legend.
They're so faux polite.
We cheer you when you're in a slump. Shut up. We get Yankee Stadium, we boo you when you're in a slump. There you go. How about that, Cardinals?
Albert Pujols, though. You want to talk about clutch hitter?
He is a clutch hitter.
St. Louis is a boring city. All I got are team futures here, Corey, if you want to hear them.
Okay. Cards are -135 on BetMGM, so the Phillies come in as the underdog.
Yeah, which I get. But still, I mean, that's a Phillies team that's not bad, man. I mean, Bryce Harper playing through all the stuff he's playing through. I don't know how, every time like you go look at
has Bryce Harper's career been a disappointment to this thus far?
That's the thing. It's so weird because like Bryce Harper and LeBron James are basically the same hype machine, right? Like the Felipe Lopez high school cover of Sports Illustrated hype machine.
Got it.
LeBron James kind of fulfilled his potential. Bryce Harper, Bryce Harper pretty much did too. You know what I mean? Like he's
not a champion, Harper, right?
He's not a champ. They won the year he left.
They won the year he left, which is always a bad omen.
2 MVPs.
But he's won an MVP, right? And he could win an MVP this year, right?
I mean, I think he maybe missed too many games.
Okay, but he's won 2 MVPs.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to criticize him. I think people were expecting him to be like the next Babe Ruth.
He was Mickey
Mouse. I told you what I thought about Babe Ruth. I'm convinced after last night that Babe Ruth is a fictional character. Babe Ruth is not real. No, it's not. Babe Ruth is not real. We've been hoodwinked. We've been bamboozled. We've been led astray. We've been run amok.
No, keep going.
Babe Ruth. I don't know the rest. But Babe Ruth is a fictional character. I'm dead serious. Babe Ruth is a fictional character. Last night when they were showing on Scott Van Pelt, SVP, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They were showing like the American League home run leaders. Like with Judge, you see Judge, you see his teammates, you see the audience. With Roger Maris, you see his teammates, you see the audience, right? With Babe Ruth, you never see Babe Ruth's teammates. And then the audience is always like moving fast, like the old school. Everybody got on a derby, black and white, and they all moving fast. You know what I'm saying? Babe Ruth is not real. Babe Ruth is a fictional character. Y'all are never going to get me to believe that Babe Ruth is real. Babe Ruth is like a baseball Santa Claus. I'm not buying it. After I saw those highlights last night of Babe Ruth, I'm like, there's no way you can tell me that Babe Ruth is a real person. Who do you know? There is nobody under the sound of my voice that has ever seen Babe Ruth play, and there's nobody that knows anybody that's seen Babe Ruth play. I asked my pop, you ever seen Babe Ruth play? He's like, no. Nobody's ever seen Babe Ruth play.
I'm
telling you, Babe Ruth is a fictional character.
I'm going to see when Babe Ruth died. When did Babe Ruth die?
Babe Ruth is fictional. I'm telling y'all. Yeah, you got baseball. Come on now. Babe Ruth is not a real person. Even Babe Ruth baseball cards, it looked like it's drawn. You know what I'm saying? Like, Babe Ruth is not real. Y'all trying to pull a fast one. Listen, I don't know who made this up. Maybe it was Phil Rizzuto. Maybe it's the Lenny Melnick. But Babe Ruth is not a real person. There's no way. Everything about Babe Ruth is sketchy. Even from athletes back in that day. Joe Johnson, stuff like that. You see Joe Johnson. You see his opponent. You see his audience. Babe Ruth, everything is always sketchy. I'm pretty sure Babe Ruth is a fictional character.
Look, he lived until 1948. So if you find someone who's like 85 years old, they might have remembered him when he was a little, when they were a little teenager. Although I don't think you'd see him on TV. Like, you would have to have gone to see him at like an old timers game if those were around back then. Yeah,
see, what's they doing? Like if Babe Ruth died in 1948, right? Let's just say he died in 48.
He was 53 years old.
Knock on wood. You know what I'm saying? He didn't.
Well, he's fake. I mean, he's not a real character, so it shouldn't really affect you.
True, too. Babe Ruth is a fictional character. Babe Ruth was made up by baseball purists. Babe Ruth is a fictional character. I am certain that Babe Ruth is a fictional character. It's no way possible Babe Ruth is real. Nobody has ever seen this man.
You do that thing where you pause a Babe Ruth video and you zoom in and you zoom in and you zoom in. And you see like some artist's autograph like right here.
Yeah, you like
some digital mark right here. Yeah.
Somebody need to investigate this and see if Babe Ruth is a real person. I'm pretty sure Babe Ruth is a fictional character created to make people think that like there was this great, jolly old baseball player that drank beers and ate hot dogs and hit 60 home runs. Like the home run record before Babe Ruth was like 14. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and
but
now
he figured it out. You know, like who figured out the dunk, right? Like he's just like, oh,
that's like Dr. J or something, right? Then Dr. J, probably was before Dr. J. Somebody was slam dunking. You know what I'm saying? But Dr. J made the dunk famous. Babe Ruth made the home run famous, or maybe that was a way to get people to like, okay, we're going to create America's pastime. We're going to make baseball America's pastime. But in order to do so, we need somebody who we can make the face of the sport. And they didn't have no face of the sport. So they're like, okay, let's make him a fictional guy that played for the Red Sox and was traded to the Yankees for like tickets to tickets to cats. You know what I'm saying? Like the Red Sox get a Yankees.
You tried to say Les Miserables.
Is there any footage of Babe Ruth in the Red Sox uniform? None. I'm telling you, Babe Ruth is a fictional character.
I can map this out. I think this would be a good column because what you'd have to do is because communication was so different back then. All you really have to do is pay off the Red Sox and the Yankees. Because like even if like a fan, you read like, oh, Babe Ruth hit another home run last night, and you were at the game, you're like, I didn't see that. There's no Babe Ruth on the Yankees.
Yeah.
What are they going to do? They're going to go to the paper and be like, this is a bad story. They're going to just shut up, man. This is a serialized
challenge.
fiction.
Yeah, who was going to challenge, right?
There were no blogs back then to be like, hey.
If you didn't go to the games, how do you know that it really happened? Or I listened on the radio. You listen to Ovaltine on the radio. That old school radio was all fiction. Everything on old school radio was fake. But you think Babe Ruth is real. Give me a break.
This all makes a lot of sense. We should map that a little more.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Babe Ruth is a fake person now.
And then I guess Babe Ruth just got so big that whoever started it was like, oh, gee, man, what am I going to do now? Just shut up.
He's out of control now. You know what I'm saying? Now you got people going to Mitchell and Ness buying number 3 jerseys. You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe you hire an actor to play him for the hospital visits and stuff who looks like him.
Yeah, exactly.
How is this fat guy hitting 61 home runs? Oh, don't worry about it, man. Why does he have a British accent?
Yeah, it was never no old timers day. You know what I'm saying? Like you never seen Babe Ruth and like Muhammad Ali chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like where's Babe Ruth and Jim Brown? They should be friends. There should be something between those two guys, right?
Yeah.
Nothing. Nobody knows Babe Ruth. All the classic old-timey sports figures, nobody has ever met Babe Ruth. But yet and still, from the time I was a little boy, oh, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth, Babe Ruth. And then when I got grown, I realized Babe Ruth is a fictional character. Babe Ruth was made up to make baseball America's pastime.
We should get Chris Liss on.
Where do Chris Liss live at now? He don't live in America
Prague
no more.
or something, He'll still be awake.
Prague.
It's 9:30. It's cool. We'll send him a note. Matt put him on the list of possible guests.
I went to Walmart today, Nando.
Yeah, we should be taking a break. They asked us to take a break.
Before we're gonna take a break. Like, listen, but look at this, right? I seen this today at Walmart. Gems of the game. Oh. 1 graded card in the box, right?
How much was that?
So listen, so on the front it has Justin Fields. On the back it's got Trevor Lawrence, right?
So it's new.
I'm like, this is interesting. I've never seen this before. And it says 1 graded card, 9 grade or higher, right?
Sure.
So I was like, okay, let's see this now. Because it must have been a big load to come in because it was this whole section was empty. So it's either that new NBA optic or that Mosaic World Cup dropped today too. So they had cleared Walmart out, but it was like I bought a box of NBA and I got something nice at the box of NBA. I'll show y'all. And then I bought this too. So I put the Walmart scanner to it and it said $11.98.
No
way.
I
said for $11.98, I'm going to give this a shot. Yeah. I'm going to give this a shot for $11.98. So there it goes right there. My slab is in the box. I already know who the player is and what the slab is. I'll let you know on the other side.
I cannot. Will you drop us clues and see if people can play along and figure it out? Like, as you know, he's a basketball player. He plays for this team. He does this, and then we can. I assume the grade's a GMI 9.
He is okay.
All right.
I'll drop the first hint is he plays professional football.
All right.
There you go.
Definitely a defenseman. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to come back. Corey's going to reveal the card. We're going to talk the Judge home run ball. We got some football bets to get into. Pat Mayo. We should hold. Pat Mayo's going to be here at 4:00, so we can hold a lot of those to packets here. But stay tuned. Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media, sponsored by Jock Market. Use code FRIENDS. Get a bunch of bonuses. It's just download the app, put in code FRIENDS. We're going to be playing it tomorrow night, Thursday Night Football. So, get in before that. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with more.
Bettor Sports Network is sponsored by Jock Market.
I'm Pat Mayo of the Mayo Media Network and the Pat Mayo Experience audio podcast. Two things which you should subscribe to. I'm also the presenting sponsor of Bettor Sports Network's 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern weekday live block. So you should always tune into that. But what I want to talk about today is daily fantasy strategy and how you can leverage tools in order to both win, but understand what other people are doing, because creating leverage in daily fantasy is about the number one thing you can do if you want to get to the top of the leaderboard. So I'm going to walk through some of the tools that we have at runthesims.com in order to help guide you beyond what the tools actually provide, considering it's a lineup builder, it's an optimizer, it has projections. There's all of that stuff at Run the Sims, but it can also tell us a little bit of a different story. So right now, runthesims.com is already up there. It has NASCAR, it has F1, UFC coming soon, but NFL is the bread and butter of everything. And you're going to get your prop tool. If you want your prop tool, you're also going to get your simulator. And right now, you see it's $2.99 for the package, but because our friends at BSN are so smart, you can go to runthesims.com/BSN, get yourself 10% off, and you're going to want this. You can see all of the myriad tools that Run the Sims provides, but we're going to go to the classic optimizer. And we're going to show you how you can create leverage in your lineup without doing anything. We're going to make it the main slate of games because, if you want to run projections for every game, you can use the entire full slate of everything. And you can pick whatever operator that you want. Well, for this example, we use DraftKings. So all the stock projections are in there. You can play around with them any way you want, game by game, player by player. But if you generate lineups and you're someone who plays both tournaments and cash games, this is important because the optimal lineups will show you who the most common players are going to be in double ups, 50-50s, and head-to-heads, and what those lineups are going to look like, because optimal lineups are all going to be very similar. So Jalen Hurts or Daniel Jones at quarterback, you're going to have a lot of Antonio Gibson, Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, and Travis Etienne. And I'm not saying don't play these guys, but all you really need to do is pick a pivot point somewhere, and all of a sudden you can make your team especially different, especially in higher stakes in single entry double ups and cash games if you really want to go that way. So even when we go look at our player groups and our player pool, when we generate the lineups that we want, you most definitely saw that you're going to have your Jalen Hurts, Daniel Jones lineups. All you really need to do is get a little bit different, come up with a stack in a little bit of a different way, and you see Commanders defense keeps getting spat out. That's going to be the optimal one for week 1. So all you need to do is just go a different way, and all of a sudden you've created a leverage on your opponents, and your 3v3 just needs to win that 3v3, and all of a sudden you're printing money. runthesims.com/BSN for 10% off. I'm Pat Mayo.
This is Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media and sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every second of every game.
Welcome back, everybody. Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media. Good times, as always.
No doubt.
Thanks to Jock Market for sponsoring the show. Much appreciated. We'll show you some love back. Use code FRIENDS. Get a deposit match of up to $100. First bet is risk-free. Anyway, we could say this all. I know it sounds like white noise after a little while when people ask you to sign up for things and use a code, and this is what you get, and it's whatever. But do it. It helps us. It'll help you. It's basically risk-free. You get a boost, and it's fun. Mess around with it a little bit.
We new here, and we having a good time. So you know what I'm saying. you want us to keep rocking and rolling, you know what I mean? Help us out. Appreciate that.
You know, that's it. Little by little.
We all friends here. You know what I'm saying? Like we all friends. Like, I know I put y'all on to the Babe Ruth thing. My man getting the game said he's going to return to sign Babe Ruth ball. He got me for my birthday. I asked for a silver Cade Cunningham. So besides this from Walmart today, right?
Yeah.
I also bought a box of Prism, NBA Prism, and this was a nice pull right here. Local guy too from the Low Country. This is a game worn. This is game worn patch. Chris Middleton patch Prism game worn.
Nice
signature sweaters. Chris Middleton, who is a NBA champion with the Milwaukee Bucks. He's from South Carolina. When you fly into Charleston, right, there's like a poster of Chris Middleton, you know what I'm saying, congratulating him for being an NBA champion from the area. This is a nice little slice right here. I like this one, right? It was like no rookies in the damn box.
Really?
But this Chris, yeah, that was horrible to see that. I can't pull a Cade Cunningham to save my life. But I like this right here, Chris Middleton. And listen, Bucks right now win total 52.5. Listen, here's the thing with NBA win totals, right? Let's just say the Bucks have 51 wins, right?
Yep.
And it's 4 games left to the season, but they've already clinched number 1 seed. Then that bet might not cash.
Right.
So you got to be ultra tricky with these NBA win totals. I like to look for a team that I think could, like last year, the Lakers under was easy money. It cashed by the All-Star break. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It was 52.5. The Lakers won 30-something games last year.
Oh, they built a super team, right?
Yeah, exactly. Russell Westbrook, you're never going to win with Russell Westbrook. Never. If somebody was to do the research, I guarantee you, until from the time when Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City till right now, every team Westbrook has been on, the under his cash. I would guarantee
that'd be an impressive.
Maybe that year in Washington, they've been on the last 20 games of the season. They won like 17 out of 20. Maybe they barely went over the win total, but I'm willing to guarantee you, since Durant left, since he stopped playing with Kevin Durant, teams Russell Westbrook been on the under his cash. I'm willing to almost guarantee you that.
I'll tell you what, I can pull up the archived NBA futures on Sports Odds history right now.
Yeah, that'd be good.
If you really want to mess with this, maybe it could be our clip. You know, they played during Kyle and Ray.
If we can impress Kyle and Ray without NBA knowledge. But so the win totals I do like right now, and we still got 2 weeks before the season start. I do like the Detroit Pistons win total this year. That one I do know. I have more information for you as we move through the course of the preseason, leading up to the regular season tip-off, which is, I believe, 2 weeks from, so that's about 13 days away from opening night in the NBA. So there you go right there.
So I just picked at random 2008. 2008-09 NBA regular season win totals. Oklahoma City Thunder that year were 25.5 BetMGM. They use all the BetMGM odds. They finished with 23 in the under.
So that was before they got rolling.
Well, I just picked a random one.
Yeah. Go look at like 20. Look at like what year was he on the Wizards? Maybe he was on the Wizards in 2019. Maybe look at Oklahoma City like 2018. Maybe look at the Wizards in like 2019. Whatever. I would have to go back through Russell Westbrook.
Right. We got to match this up, right?
Yeah, we got to match it up. But I'm telling you, he does not. Russell Westbrook he gets his numbers, but the team suffers. He's not like a team guy like that.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll do this. We got
time to do this. Yeah.
All I got to do is pull these up and see where Russell Westbrook was that year, and then it actually tells you if they finished over or under on here too. So.
Oh, okay. That makes it easy.
Right. Yeah.
That's a good research tool right there.
All right. We got a shout out to Sports Odds history. I want to see the slabbed card though.
All right. So it's the slab card, right? So like as soon as I paid for it, right? I was like, I got to open this up and see what this is. Right?
Was it really $11.98? It wasn't
$11.98. Like I said, I hit the thing with it. $11.98 in the store, $30 online. Don't buy it online. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
So
how many were there?
Self-checkout. They had about 6 or 7 of them up there. Maybe I should have bought all, but I didn't. I said I was going to give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a nice PSA 9 autographed Justin Fields on the cover. Then they got a Beckett, Trevor Lawrence on the cover. So I'm like, I bet. And it says on right here, you see where it says, if you can see that right there, I always had a struggle with this, right? It says, look for graded rookie autographs. I was like, I'm in. This is it right here.
Right.
This is the one. I get to the parking lot. You can even see where I struggled to rip the top off because I'm so excited, right? And then I went in here and I said, good Lord. They must have saw me coming. As soon as I pulled into the parking lot, they was like, we got one.
Put out those graded card boxes. Who is that? Oh, Kirk Cousins. All right.
Kirk Cousins. This looked like a card. The card is a Panini. It just say Panini on it.
Oh, wait, hey, you know what? Wait, those might be. They gave them away at the National VIP, or is that not it?
No, this is not it.
Oh man, that's
So this is a Kirk Cousins BCCG 10 Panini nothing. It's Kirk Cousins dropping back, ready to throw a red zone interception. Man, I got this, and I was so disturbed to see this. I was like, "Oh, you got to be kidding me!" Kirk Cousins of everybody, Kirk Cousins. Disaster.
Why don't you go back and buy another one?
This is going to be somebody for trick or treat. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to go buy another one. And I'm be giving these joints away. I'll be giving these joints away for Halloween. And with trick or treat, I'm putting in some poor kids. Oh, mommy, look, it's Kirk Cousins getting ready to throw interception in the red zone. Can you imagine this?
Panini's not even spelled right.
Yeah, exactly. Panini spelled wrong. Got two eyes in it. I'm like, what's going on here? Terrible. They got me good with this one.
It's Pamimi.
Yeah. So I'm like, what is going on here? So we got some giveaways coming up. Right?
Eighth person hit the fun button.
Yeah, the eighth person to hit the fun button wins a Kirk Cousins Pamani. Look at the thing. The Beckett thing is not even no insignia. It's like a piece of little paper they cut off. You know what I'm saying?
BCCG was like the very, very cheap alternative. I think it was like what QVC used to grade and stuff. Like I remember reading like, what's the difference between BCCG and Beckett proper? And it was like BCCG was like the very, very, very discount.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Nando.
They gave out good grades for everything, basically.
You can look at this card and tell this is not a 10. Like the back of the card is bent. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a 10 at all. There's nothing a 10 about this card. What I mean?
Who would get that graded? Who would be like, look at this Kirk Cousins card.
Scam. It's like Babe Ruth. It's a scam. They was like, let's throw this in here and sell it for $11 in Walmart. You know what I'm saying? This is a Ponzi scheme. Somebody is these people right here running I wonder if Panini know these people are doing this to them. Amazing.
I don't think they care, right? Like,
no, apparently not.
Doing what? Buying their Kirk Cousins cards they're going to dump in the ocean?
Yeah, exactly. Unbelievable. It's not even a rookie or nothing. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, vague Reboxing company. You want
to buy 100% vague
you want to buy the Kirk Cousins card and get it graded?
It says 10 mint or better. MJH exclusive. There's nothing exclusive about this card.
I've got to look up. You know who we got to have on? Whoever MJH is. Is that the name of the company?
It says an MJH exclusive.
That's the name of the company?
MJH exclusive. Number 33, Kirk Cousins. 10 mint or better. It ain't nothing a 10 about this. Kirk Cousins is in Minnesota for a reason. To throw the football to the other team. The Pro Bowl quarterback can obviously do that. Posting 4,000 yard season to close his time with the Redskins. It is not the only reason. The veterans' leadership and energy rubbed off. The guys rave about him, Mike Zimmer said. Mike Zimmer hates Kirk Cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is right. This might not even make it to Halloween. You know what I mean? So, next time I go to Walmart, if they got one of these, I'll buy another one and we get a kick out of it. Maybe I'll get the Justin Fields.
Hold on. This is correct. Like, if you Google MJH exclusive, a bunch of them show up on eBay. 2018 Panini MJH exclusive Matt Ryan graded 10 card Beckett BCCG.
And there it goes. That's what they selling. Those the ones they selling.
There's a good news, man. This is 20. It's worth 2160. I'm sorry. Someone thinks it's worth 20. A seller thinks it's worth 2160.
No, this thing right here, it ain't worth the $11 I just paid for it. Crazy.
Get the huge collection of 2018 Panini MJH exclusive sports cards online at Beckett.com.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, man. This is not looking good for you. There's the AJ Green.
Yeah, come on now. It's all of these little cheap
$5.99.
Yeah.
Also,
and I guarantee you every one of them is going to be like this. It might be one. It might be one Fields, one Lawrence. Look for graded rookie autographs. Yeah, right.
There's an Andrew Luck selling for $12.13. There's a Case Keenum.
Cents more than Walmart.
These are all 10s, but no one's explaining what MJH means.
Yeah.
That's a service that we can provide.
Oh, wait a minute. What's the name of the people? MJ. Oh, MJH. That's what it is. MJ Holdings.
Was that
MJ Holdings?
Like Michael Jordan?
That might be Panini's parent company. You know how when so Nando, when they how Walmart work, like they bring in the Walmart trucks,
yeah,
right, and then you unload them and then you stock the shelves at Walmart. The cards are not like that. The cards come from Panini directly,
right,
and then a special person comes and loads that, and the box they come in say MJ Holdings. So MGH, is probably MJ Holdings. Yeah, that's what that probably is. It's probably the stuff that Panini that Panini was trying to give away for Halloween, and the kids brought back. That's probably what it is.
Jeez, no one's returned a card before. I don't know what to do with this. Corey, what's the name of the company on the box? Let's find out who owns that and have that person on and ask them what's going on.
Football Gems of the Game trading cards.
Football Gems of the Game. All right.
Gems of the Game trading cards. One graded card guaranteed 9.0 or higher.
There's not like some small print that's like Johnson Distribution. It's Iowa.
MJ Holdings Company. Yeah. MJ Holdings Company.
That's it.
They're
selling their own cards.
Yep. They're selling their own cards. MJ Holdings Company. That's exactly what it is.
All right, we'll figure this out.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get to the bottom of this. We got some room tomorrow.
Sure.
Yeah. I'm going to Comic-Con tomorrow.
When is the? You know what? I was going to send you. I wish I'd have known that earlier. I don't. Maybe it's CG. One of the grading companies is taking submissions at Comic-Con.
Oh yeah, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe CSG.
Maybe it is CSG
because that CCG is the comic books. They do that there anyway, and that's the arm of the comic book company.
So maybe it is. They're going to be. And I was like, I wish I'd have known that before. I had enough time to send something up there too, Nando. You know what I'm saying? Because like we talked about yesterday, I got. I mean, if you can hand it to them, I took care of the rest. I know you don't want to be waiting in line all day. So you're going to Comic-Con before the show tomorrow?
Yeah, I go like I've done this so many times. Like I get my press pass, I go as early as possible, like 9 a.m., and then I'm out by like 2 because like I don't want anything to do with like the garbage part of Comic-Con. I just want to go in,
exactly,
buy the cool stuff, see a couple of the artists, and then like I'm out.
I'm out just like that. You know, Panini had some white sparkle prisms on sale today, three packs. I know it was basketball too. Like they had like Allen Iverson, Dominique Wilkins, this year's rookie class, white sparkle, but they was going to auction it off on their site, Panini Direct at 2 p.m. Eastern. You was never going to get one of those. You know what I'm saying?
No way.
Never going to happen.
Hey, you know who's an interesting guy? Card Purchaser. I did a couple stories with him. He might be a good guy to have on the store.
Yeah,
on the show. Except he protects his identity. He doesn't want people knowing who he is in real life.
Like the guy that caught the ball last night?
We should know that. Wouldn't you?
Yo, the guy that caught the ball, he caught that ball and he hit it, bro. He was like, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? He got up out of there. So the ball's already worked. So somebody's already offered him $2 million for the ball. Did you see the guy who jumped down to try to get the rebound?
Yes. Yeah.
That was awesome. That was the best. Now, have they found him yet? Is he okay, first of all?
Yeah, they actually, Evan Grant, the Dallas Morning News guy, showed a picture. They're pulling him back up. They're pulling him back up.
Okay, they pulled him back up. Okay,
Yeah, they got it. He did it on like he didn't fall. He jumped, waited.
No, yeah, he was waiting for it to drop down.
Yeah,
that's smart. You know what I'm
Smart.
saying?
Yeah.
But unless you tear your ankles up, you know what I'm saying? You have ankles like Steph Curry, that wouldn't be so good.
Yeah, would that be worth $2 million though?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, right? Like, who offered $2 million? Like Pornhub?
It was I forgot the name of the company. Limited. Somebody Collections offered $2 million. They already put up $2 million for it.
I mean,
it's a.
You're not going to say no to that. There's no way Aaron Judge is getting that ball.
No, Aaron Judge not. So here's the thing. This is an interesting tweet by Ravel. Ravel said the only way that guy should give Aaron Judge the ball is if Aaron Judge gives him the jersey he wore last night and the cleats he wore last night. Sign him, sign jersey, sign cleats that he wore last night.
No way.
And for that, he would give him the ball. And I would be like, that's more valuable than the ball, to be honest with you.
I don't think so, man. I don't think the
don't
jersey
think so?
market. Who wants? I mean, like, I understand people are going to buy cleats and people are going to buy jerseys, but not like
but the jersey
ball
he
is
hit
like
the
a
home.
thing.
I
The
agree.
is
The
like a
ball is
mystique.
tangible. The ball is,
But it's a mystique. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the ball.
Yeah. But the jersey or the bat is a good one too. That's the bat that hit 62. But see, Judge is not going to give you that though.
Yordan Alvarez hit 64 next year. Does anyone care about any of this stuff? I'm serious.
Oh, boy.
I wish there was a bet I could put right now, maybe like 120 to 1, that Yordan Alvarez will hit 60 plus home runs. Like, Yordan Alvarez will break the record next year.
Listen, I'm for it.
So there's something about the ball, man. You know what I mean? It's like there's that, and I'm trying to think of a parallel that I just can't. Like, you know, like, do you want a Coca-Cola or do you want an RC Cola? Right? Like the cleats are the RC Cola, the ball is Coca-Cola. You know what I mean? Like, that's you could give me 7 RC Colas for my 1 Coca-Cola, and I'd still be like, it's still my Coca-Cola though, man. You know?
Yeah, true. So Ravel says Judge in the starting lineup for final game. Best case scenario for ball owner whose name happened to be Corey Humans, who's already rich. He's like an angel investor. Yeah, he's already rich.
You
know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's already super duper rich. He's like some hedge fund millionaire already.
Well, then maybe he'll give it to the Hall of Fame, or maybe he'll give it to like a children's hospital, and the children's hospital could be like, "Well, you give us $2 million now for this ball." That would be a nice thing.
The children's hospital gonna give it to Babe Ruth. Number 62 alone as the record breaker is probably worth $2.5 million. As a final home run ball, I think it goes up to $4 million. So let's just say, like, Judge out the lineup. So it's 62 is the record.
Right.
Okay. Then there's one thing we got to do too, Nando. It would be pretty fun to go over the best NIL deals right now. Like, who has the coolest NIL deals?
You're just scrolling through Ravel's things right now.
Yeah, for real. I'm trying to find out. That's a good idea, though. So I'm trying to find out. Memory Lane Incorporated. That's the name of it. Memory Lane Incorporated is the name of the people that offered $2 million for the ball.
All right, we'll look them up too. We should have them on.
Yeah, we should definitely have them on because I just followed them on Twitter just now. Memory Lane Incorporated is the people who have the who offered the $2 million for the ball.
What do they do?
Look who they have as on their Twitter header. You wouldn't believe it.
What?
Babe Ruth. And obviously, it's Babe Ruth with nobody behind him. You see that? Once again, Babe Ruth in a spooky picture where you don't see nobody but the fictional Babe Ruth.
What do they do? I wonder if they got insurance for that. You know, like a company I used to work for, it was a newsletter, like back in the day before newsletters were cool. This is like 15 years ago. And it could have been something, but it wasn't. But the guy who started it ran a contest, and it was like, if you pick the top 10 in college football order, like the final top 10 in order, for free, you know, if you get them exactly correct, $100,000. And it's, you know, to do that, it costs like $6,000 through an insurance company because the chances of it happening are so small and so tiny. Like, you know, you get one entry per person, whatever, that you basically take out an insurance policy against it. So I wonder if they took out some kind of insurance policy and made it almost like sold as like a contest. If you can convince someone this is a contest, you know, you could be like, well, you know, we will, you know, give you $23,000 to insure us for $2 million. Did this a long time ago, you know, so like it's like, we don't know if this is going to happen. You know, the chances are whatever. If it does, then, you know, you're out. You're $2 million insurance company. But you might not even accept it. So if he doesn't accept it, there's, you know, they don't have to ever pay it up. But if they paid that, let's say $30,000 premium, they've gotten way more than $30,000 worth of advertising.
Yeah, exactly. 100. Yeah, that's a good call right there. You know, the NCAA March Madness, right? Me and Kennedy's mother, we would, for most years, we would do one if we were on good terms. If we were on speaking terms, we would go against each other. You know what I'm saying? We kept it alive. You know what I'm saying? We would do it. And some years we would, we get too busy, whatever. We was going to do it last year, right? But like so much stuff going on. She working, I'm working. Didn't get a chance to, to get in the group, whatever the case may be. So the night before the Final Four, she calls me, and she was like, "I would have beat you this year." And I was like, "What do you mean?" She was like, "I would have beat you this year." I was like, "How you figure that?" She was like, "I got the Final Four." I was like, "Wait a minute, you have all 4 Final Four teams?"
St. Peter's?
It's not like it was, yeah. The St. Peter's didn't go to the Final Four. Remember they lost to North Carolina.
Right. Okay, yeah, right.
She had North Carolina, she had Kansas, you know what I'm saying? She had Duke, and I forgot who the 4th team was. And I was like, wait a minute, go check your ranking on ESPN. And she was like in the single digits.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, that would have been a year to really put something behind that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I was like, did somebody fill it out for you? Because who are you getting your Sports Connect from that's not me? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, why did you put St. Peter's in the Elite Eight? What led you to that?
Yeah. So she was like, I just remembered from back in the day, and I gave it a shot, and sure enough, she had the Final Four.
Wow. Good for her, man. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, whatever. Let's not do that on that.
Yeah, no big deal.
Anyway. Let's not. We friends over here, right? Don't worry about that. We worried about me.
Oh, what's the next time? Does Revell have a list of like they offered $2 million, they offered 1.75, this company's offered 1. This company, it sucks to be that company that's planned out like we're going to offer $500,000 for this ball, and the next time, big marketing plan, and nobody's paying attention to them because like the 7th highest offer, and nobody cares about it.
So the name of the guy is J.P. Cohen. He is the president of Memory Lane Inc., who he told Yahoo Finance the $2 million offer still stands for Aaron Judge's home run ball. They have not heard from Corey Humans yet. And if I was this Corey Humans guy, same thing. You're not going to hear from me. I'm going to hold on to that joint, and then I'm going to be like, okay, what are we going to do for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be honest with you. I'll give the Yankees a shot. I'm like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, Let's see. Let's see what we can talk about here. You know what I mean? I'm not all evil money. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, let's have a conversation.
He is. He just doesn't need this $2 million.
Yeah, exactly. But, yeah, so I want to talk to JP Cohen and see what he's saying.
What can you get in kind from the Yankees to make it $2 million? You know what I mean? Like you could be like, tickets for life, but I don't care about tickets. All the jerseys I can count. I don't care about that. I want some stuff that I can make some bread off of. You know what I mean? Like give me some Derek Jeter stuff. Give me some good memorabilia. Give me a John Sterling spoken into microphone. Give me Susan Waldman's seat cushion. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want something tangible. I want something I can take with me. So I'll go to the Yankees. I want something I can sell. I don't want no tickets. I don't want no, like, every time we go to Yankee Stadium, my daughter want, you know what I'm saying? Oh, can we get some cotton candy? I don't want no $13 cotton candy for life. You know what I'm saying? Right. I want something that I can then go to, what's the boys up in New Rochelle? Steiner Sports. I want something I can go to Steiner Sports and sell to Steiner Sports. So I give the Yankees the first shot, but that $2 million is going to be hard to turn down. At least for me, it would have been. If it was me, they would probably have that. I'd be honest with you, they probably would have had the ball already. Hey, JP?
I'd be giving them my routing number.
Come and get it.
There you go.
Briefcase of cash. And then just be like, oh, lost the ball.
Oh, wow. And then that would have been tough.
Now, with
the authenticating the ball, right? How does that work? Do you have to go to the backstage area and authenticate it? And do they authenticate it if you leave with it? See what I'm saying? That's tricky right there.
All the balls are marked ahead of time, so they're pre-authenticated. They use special balls just for Aaron Judge. Then the way I understood it, if you read the Zach Hampel stuff when he got the A-Rod ball, like the Yankees people come over and they actually I think they put a sticker on it. I remember him showing it to us. He brought it into the studio. Mm-hmm. And I think they put like a little hollow sticker on it, like the little hologram things. But it was if you read the account of the bullpen coach who got 61 for the Blue Jays, he said like a bunch of shady looking people came toward him. They're like, oh yeah, we're security. He's like, I don't think so, man. And they held on to it. He passed it to someone. And then he passed it to Zach Britton, I think. And they're like, Zach Britton will get it to Judge.
Yeah.
But like this group of like shady looking security people came, and he like something clicked in his head, and he's like, this is not right.
Yeah. I'm gonna be like, I was the same way with me, bro. I'd have been like, I was getting that ball up out of there. Nobody was touching that ball except for me.
Right. That's what I mean, good on the bullpen coach for being like
that smart guy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm sure dude got I remember if Zach Hampel, when he was explaining to us what happened, he was saying people were like scratching, like trying to gouge his eyes, like trying to grab the ball, like just like really nasty stuff, like on top of him. So I'm not sure.
Like the FanDuel Sportsbook.
Yeah. Imagine that ball just going loose in there, man.
You forget about it. I don't want it. You let that ball loose in the FanDuel Sportsbook, Jack. Let me tell you something. You walk out with that joint, you're going to need every police officer in New Jersey because somebody going to get you.
Man. Yeah, so anyway, that's the story I heard. Do you want to take a break? I think Mayo's coming up on the flip side.
Yeah, we got to get Mayo on here. So let's take a break and talk to Mayo, and I can show Mayo my Kirk Cousins.
I'm sure, yeah, we could start with him. Kirk. Stay tuned. It's Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media and Memory Lane Incorporated, and for Real Jock Market.
And MGH Holdings.
Oh, wait, Mayo's here. What should we do? Should we just bring him on, or should we
take the break first? I need to get some water.
Quick break. We'll be right back after this.
Corey Nando and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market. The Playbook with Fensty and Ronis.
Alvin Kamara, if I had to guesstimate about an hour before game time, gets ruled out, and it lights the world on fire once everybody wakes up. That had Alvin Kamara still in their lineups, you got West Coasters trying to get a redo or trying to get a sub in because it's unfair that they have to wake up so early to get him out of the lineup and make sure that everyone who's active and in the lineup should be. But isn't that fantasy football, man? Didn't we warn everyone about this?
Yeah, we had this exact conversation last week, which is why it was so funny when I saw all these people on Twitter complaining and asking for a retroactive move. Because this same situation happened the last time I think Saints were in London, and I went over the story. It involved Alvin Kamara. Same thing. My opponent had Kamara in the lineup, and in the halfway through the game, he asked the commissioner, hey, I don't even know where maybe he was California, somewhere on the West Coast. Oh, I woke up late. I didn't know he's out. Can I replace him? And the commissioner comes to me and says, hey, your opponent wants to replace Kamara. I'm cool with it if you are. I said, no, I'm not cool with it, man. This is just like anything in life. It's your responsibility. You knew that there are going to be games at 9:30 a.m. Eastern this year. I hate waking up early, but you just have to wake up early and do it.
What's stopping you from going back to bed? That's the big thing. What's stopping you from that? You get up, change your lives, go pee, go back to bed. It's one of those things that from now on, when you have anyone involved in London games that are the least bit questionable, including injuries that you see late in the week, let's say this happens, all of a sudden, minor tweak for someone, like you're still waking up that morning to make sure that player is playing. It's a few weeks a year in row. We're lucky that the NFL doesn't go completely worldwide and we have games in different countries every single week.
Front Yard Fantasy with Simon, JL, and Coop.
Dude, Jeff Wilson looked fantastic last night.
No,
did you see that?
Jeff Wilson had one great 32-yard touchdown.
Did you see the run? Did you see the run?
JL, the run was incredible. But I just want to look at the rest of this stat line to tell you why I'm not excited about Jeff Wilson. 18 for 74. That's why I'm not excited about Jeff Wilson. 18 for 74 with a 32-yard run. So really, that's what 74 minus 32. Without that one run, that's 17 for 32 yards. Or
4.1 a carry? You're complaining about 4.1 a carry?
Yeah.
Why? 4.1's not that bad.
It's jail. Without that touchdown, we're looking at a 17 for 42-yard game, which is whatever. You know what I mean? Okay, it's fine.
18 carries. You were turning your nose up at 18 carries.
I don't hate Jeff Wilson. And it's not that I won't start him. I think he's a perfectly fine start, but that's where the line ends. Anybody who thinks he's anything more than just a fine start is where I have a problem. Like he's just not exciting. He's not a player that's going to just completely blow up on a given week. He got the touchdown this week. You're thrilled. But next week when he doesn't get the touchdown, when he's 18 for 57 yards, you're going to be like, well, shoot, another classic Jeff week.
Bettor Sports Network is betting, fantasy, collectibles. It's sports talk done better. This is Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media and sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every second of every game.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media. I'm just looking up MJ Holding. There's a lot here on their website, but there is a contact. So
we can there's a place to send this Kirk Cousins back to.
Does this look like the logo? Is this the logo on your box?
Yeah,
MJ?
that's the logo. That's
all right.
MJ
I'll fill out the contact thing. We'll see what happens.
That's when they bring the cards out, that lady or the gentleman that puts them out, the boxes say MJ Holding on it.
Nice. We'll figure this out. Pat Mayo, what's up, man?
I don't think it's Michael Jordan though. What's up, Pat?
I think you're right.
No, you guys doing Jock Market now? Jock Market's fun.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Tell us a little bit about Jock Market. I mean, Legeza came on and told us a little bit, and they actually used to sponsor an athletics show that we did. It seems, it's only in game, right? You can't do anything like right now. You got to wait until game start, right?
We have to wait for the IPOs to come out. Once the IPOs are dropped, you don't have to trade in game. You can, once the prices are dropped, let's say for the weekend slate or even for the Thursday night slate, they might be out right now. I haven't checked. That you can kind of get in on a price. And if you see, I don't know, for the Thursday night game, let's say Alec Pierce is way too cheap, or at least you perceive him to be way too cheap. He's like, $2 or something like that. And you're like, I think Michael Pittman is going to be on Patrick Surtain. That's not going to be good news. Denver, pretty good against tight ends. So that throws out Jelani Woods, and that throws out Mo Alley-Cox and Kyle Granson. So now we're just taking guys off the Colts. Like, what are we doing here? Who can we buy on this team? Well, Paris Campbell sucks. Alec Pierce, maybe he's the guy. So within the context of that one game, you buy him for $2. He might be the highest performer of that game. Return like $10 a share. You make $5 extra money. So, but later on in the week, if everyone has the same idea as me before the game actually kicks off, and everyone is just buying up Alec Pierce shares, well, all of a sudden he could be $7 a share, and you probably don't want to buy it at that point. So if you can beat the market in on these IPO prices, you can cash in big.
So that's basically the key to it, is beating the market, trying to hop in there as soon as the IPO opens. Now, do you have to are you building a lineup? Or are you rostering? Are you basically buying shares of a particular player or players?
Players, just build a portfolio. You want to bet it's just like playing the stock market. I can just go buy Pepsi Cola stock all I want. That can be the only stock that I buy. Maybe better to diversify in case that you're wrong on some of these things. So yeah, you can play as much or as little as you want.
Okay, so I think the part that it's a little bit confusing to me is like when the IPOs open and when to go in and buy and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can go in at any time to go buy, because let's say we don't know if Michael Thomas is playing this week, for example. So no one's going to buy Michael Thomas shares. So when the IPO drops, if he's still sort of questionable or we don't know if he's going to play, no one's going to buy those. His stock is going to go down before the game starts. So if you're like, I actually kind of like Michael Thomas if he plays, well, you just wait until Sunday morning right before kickoff and just buy all the Michael Thomas shares if he's active. And then you get him for 50 cents instead of $2, which he probably is at opening.
So we're not buying per season. We're buying per game.
Per game. And they have a month-long contest as well, where you can do that to see how it does over the course of the next month. But for every slate, so Monday night, Thursday night, London games, main slate, late slate, Sunday night football, there are brand new markets that you can get into. So if you miss one, no big deal. You can get it on the next one.
And do they have collegiate sports as well?
I do not believe they do. I only play football, so I don't know.
Got it.
They have golf.
That's cool.
I'm ready to buy some Cade Cunningham. That's it.
No, you got to wait for his game.
All right. Well, he plays. Yeah. We played last night, Madison Square Garden, but that was exhibition.
Yeah.
All right. So
cool.
I like it. So
hey,
right now,
no problem.
So right now, live on Jock Market is week 3 to 5 NFL market. You can get on the back end of that. You got today's MLB market is live right now, and then they have a couple of free to play events, MLB events, and stuff like that. Shriners, the golf joint, Shriners Children's Opens. Then we're pre-IPO still right now in Thursday Night Football, and we're pre-IPO in Sunday main slate. All right, so cool. Now thank you, Pat. I appreciate that because now I think I'm going in. And obviously, now like say like Saquon, say you like, well, I don't know, say you like Saquon this week. He's not going to be cheap, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then sometimes even the top players can be underpriced too, huh?
They can be, but they need to perform that week. So, like, if you buy Saquon, he's probably going to be the most expensive running back that you can buy. And then he's likely not going to return dividends unless he finishes as a top 5 running back that week, which he should. But, you know,
still not going to be. So, like, TJ Hawkinson would have been excellent last week.
Yes.
Geno Smith, Londo's guy, would have been excellent last week.
Everybody's so like 2 weeks ago, it was all like the scrub receivers that ended up returning all the money, like Mac Hollins and like every scrub receiver there was all went absolutely off, and you bought them all for $1 and they returned like $25.
Love it.
Love it.
I'm ready for it now. I can't wait for the basketball season. It's going to be lit.
Let's mess with the NFL tomorrow night. We'll report back on Friday.
We got golf starting tomorrow.
We don't know anything about golf, and last time we asked you to give us a name, you like hemmed and hawed for an hour.
No, I did. I was trying to explain. How the President's Cup worked to you.
I know, Pat. We kid. Do you want to give us a golf name this week that we can just throw $5 on? Since I got $10 on the Mariners by accident.
I mean, $5. Come on, you throw at least 100.
All right. Well, not all of us, sponsoring Corey Nando and friends.
You got Jock Market money now. You're good.
Yeah, we got that Jock Market. Came right to us.
Emiliano Grillo, 45 to 1.
All right.
I can do that.
Where's he from?
Argentina.
Nice.
All right.
Is he one of those people who got in because everyone else is on the Live tour?
No, he probably should have been on the President's Cup team, but he just really struggled for like 18 months. He was really good. He's won on the PGA Tour before. Struggled, kept his card, and just kind of like, Now over his past 6 starts, like to end the season and start the new season, he has like 7 top 10s in his past 12 starts.
Do you generally do the wins, or are you more like, because I know Esser writes about finishing top 10, top 5, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's how cowards bet.
All right, hey, I was just wondering.
I love it.
That's for people who look. It's like going on DraftKings. Like, are any of us really playing the $50 double ups? No.
Nah, the double up season is over.
Yeah, it's time to try to win $1 million, right?
Yeah, Mr. -110. Forget about that. Shoot for the stars. Pat, back to Jock Market right quick. So say when the games kick off, can you still buy shares?
No.
Oh, okay. So when the game kicks off, it's closed. Okay.
Oh yeah, no more jogging. Let's just have Pat talk football, man.
I'm trying to learn the Jock Market.
Okay,
I'm trying to be like I'm trying to be a shark on Jock Market. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, gotcha.
You know who you need? You need John Legeza. He knows all of this stuff.
He's good at that. Yeah, I know.
He does. Like we have a Jock Market show on Mayo Media Network. So he does the football shows. He did the baseball show every single day throughout the year. He does the football show 3 times a week for each of the slates now, and he just cleans up. So he's the guy you want to talk to about the ins and outs, tinkering with the rules, like really getting into it. I'm just kind of a donkey when it comes to it. He's like a sharp.
All right, good. I'm gonna send him a text. No, you got to send me his number, Nando.
All right, I'll do that. I'll do that after the show. Pat, how's life, man?
Well, I set this thing up. My wife was supposed to be home, but she's not. So I had to go pick up my kids and shove them in front of an iPad. I'm watching them on this camera right below my microphone.
You can go, Pat. You don't have to. You got to watch your kids, man. Don't worry.
No, it's cool. No, it happens. We've all shoved the kids in front of an iPad before. See, Sesame Street was still popular when Jaden was a little fella. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and really, kids don't really get into Sesame Street no more.
How disappointing it is as a parent watching Sesame Street and be like, "This is the worst show," and then going back and trying to find the old ones.
Oh, I don't know how the new ones are. Jaden was Lala. You know what I'm saying? He used to call Tickle Me Elmo Lala because he would say Lala. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a kid. What do you want? You know what I mean?
Matt, what's Jock Market's view on Sesame Street?
Well, you got to buy low on some of these new characters, right?
Exactly. It makes sense. Hey, Pat, your Toronto Raptors win total 47.5. juice to -120. I don't know if this is a 48-win team. I like the team, Pat. I'm a fan of the team. I think they're a top 4 seed in the Eastern Conference. Then they finished second. Well, the division is tough because you got Boston and Philadelphia. But I think they finished right behind those two teams. I think it's maybe a 47, 46-win team. 48 seems like a lot. What's your thoughts on the Toronto Raptors going into the season? I like the team. I like the coach, but I don't know if there's enough playmakers.
I think that's more of a playoffs problem. I think that they're probably they're one of the likeliest teams to beat their win total just because of the style of basketball that they play. And they don't rest guys ever. You're never going to go to a Raptors game and Siakam sitting because he's tired. He's either hurt or he's playing 47 minutes that night. So they're actually kind of geared to be a much better regular season team than a playoff team. So actually, I think they've hit their over win totals. I think 9 of the past 10 years or something like that. It's just, they're just always great during the regular season, and they got real problems because they're not as talented as a lot of the teams. But like even Boston, I know Boston's favored to win the NBA title, but I don't agree with that. Like that's crazy. That's craziness.
It is a little crazy. I mean, like they lost their coach.
Yeah,
but maybe he's not that important.
Maybe.
Well, they got the new guy. I can't think his name right now. Muzio, maybe is his name. He's like top 3 to win coach of the year. As far as I'm concerned, Nick Nurse should win coach of the year every year. But, I guess that guy steps in. He has a story, narrative. He does a good job. He could win the award. But I just wanted to ask that question because I started looking at some win totals yesterday. I already told you I like the Pistons a lot this year. Really like the Pistons this year. But
well,
I wanted to ask.
Then you should bet Sam Mitchell coach of the year.
That's Dwayne Casey.
All right, Dwayne Casey. Sam Mitchell was that. That's the Raptors coach before Dwayne Casey.
Yeah, Sam Mitchell on NBA TV now, right?
He used to work at Sportsnet when I worked at Sportsnet like 12 years ago. Oh, Jesus, 14 years ago now. And like you don't perceive him to be like super tall. And then I stood next to him. He's like 6'8". And it's like, good Lord.
I think Sam Mitchell works NBA TV now. We can get him on the show. He knows how to talk basketball good.
He's a good dude.
We'll book him after the MJ Holdings CEO.
Yeah, exactly.
Some guy named Jeff. I don't know if that's true. Pat, let me ask you a question. I do a podcast with Chris Vaccaro every week. NFFC Hall of Famer Chris Vaccaro.
What's the NFCC?
The National Fantasy. You know what the NFFC is?
I don't know what that is.
The National Fantasy Football, the high stakes NFFC.
Oh, for like old people fantasy football.
That's
okay,
the season long league. Pat don't play season long. Pat, when's the last time you played in a season long league?
I still have my old school one with like my friends from college. That's it. It's the only league I play in now.
Well, then never mind. It was going to be a season long. Well, screw it.
Pat still no season long questions.
You know which quarterback I'm actually most excited to pick up this week and to
Wentz.
start? Like, no, is Zach Wilson.
Oh God,
Zach Wilson could end up being the most underrated player.
Zach Wilson sucks. I don't know what people watch, but like he's bad.
I think people are conflating him with Sam Darnold.
No. It's like people don't watch it. They only see what they want to see. So they didn't see the 5 dropped interceptions last week in the Jets game that he threw directly to the other team. Now, what they see is it's like someone. This is not my original thing, so I don't know who said it. I saw it on Twitter. So someone on Twitter, nice analogy as it comes out. It's like watching someone play pool. And they can put a ton of English on the ball and make these like miraculous shots, like spin it around 2 balls, cut it back, clip it there, and have it come back and hit another ball down in the back corner pocket. But then the guy can't make like a simple from me to you, shoot it in. Like you only consider the great shots that he makes and not everything else. You're like, well, this guy must be good. He can do that. Yeah, but he can't do anything else. That's Zach Wilson. He makes these throws that are incredible. These plays that are incredible. Once a game, and then the rest of the plays are absolute garbage.
So I guess you're not as excited as me.
No, he's not.
All right, fair.
Hey, here's one, Mayo. Let's say
Pat's a Kenny Pickett guy. Guarantee a Kenny Pickett guy.
No, he seems like he's terrible too.
No, all right, never mind. All right, you've changed. Sorry, Corey, go ahead.
No, Carson Wentz is who you want to play.
Get out of here.
Why?
All Wentz is going to do is upchuck it, and now he has this condensed core. You get Dotson out of the mix. So now and Logan Thomas is really a non-factor here. So expect McLaurin and Samuel to split both those sort of target shares. I mean, Cam the Sims isn't really going to do anything for us here. So you have McLaurin downfield, you have Samuel underneath, and you have Wentz. You have one of the most concentrated passing games in all of football now. So you start running those guys out there together. You can just maximize your points.
That's interesting. Yeah, you know, my man Brock on the YouTube, on the restream, he says Bailey Zappi time. Bailey Zappi versus the Lions defense could be a good jock market play. Bingo. There you go right there.
I would say Ramondre Stevenson or Damian Harris is probably a better play than Nil Zappi. And Mac Jones is back in practice.
Mac Jones got a real bad high ankle sprain. That's interesting. I don't think Mac Jones will be out there this week. You know, now everything's going to be, you know, looked at through a lens because of the Tua thing. Everybody's going to second guess. You know how social media do. And the NFL kind of like cowers to that stuff all the time. But with that being said, Pat, let's just say maybe you agree, maybe you don't. The Chiefs, the Eagles, and the Buffalo Bills, the three best teams in football. Who's for?
Tampa?
I worry about Tom Brady, though.
Oh, don't worry.
He's just trying to bait you into saying the Cowboys, man. You
no,
can say
Cowboys.
man.
I wasn't sure.
I don't know. The quarterback is God. Sometimes
I'll tell you a bet this week: Rams minus 4.5 against the Cowboys.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, this is the ultimate. Like the Rams, this is the ultimate. Like it's just okay. You want to hear a really stinky one? I can't figure out why, but I really think that the Panthers beat the 49ers this week because the line doesn't make any sense. It's exactly like that stupid Colts game against the Chiefs from 2 weeks ago. It's like, why is this line so low? What is happening here? And then you watch the game. It's like, well, the Chiefs should have won by 40, but they lost. It feels like one of those games to me. So the 6.5 is probably a good number.
Maybe PJ Walker's coming in at halftime.
I mean, they could just have anyone back there. They could just have a cardboard cutout of Baker Mayfield. Is probably more productive.
He was being nasty to the media again today. They asked him about the batted balls. He was like, well, they asked him if there's any drills that you can work on. He was like, you let me know. Bro, you the one getting the pass knocked down the line of scrimmage. I'm not a quarterback. Don't get mad at me because you suck. Like, what's up with Baker Mayfield? Yeah, like, come on, man. Why you act like a baby all the time, Baker Mayfield? I don't like that. Sorry.
Yeah, the people asking the questions.
I don't like it. Yeah, because that's the media job is to answer questions, to ask the questions. I tell you, here's an interesting one this week too, Pat. Tennessee laying 2.5 to the Commanders. That 2.5 sitting right there is saying, play me, play me, play me.
Yeah.
And Ron Rivera this team is playing like trash. And like I say, everybody speaks around how Ron Rivera is such a nice guy. All right, nice guy, terrible coach. What do you think about this Tennessee number? Looks kind of tricky to me too.
Yeah, I just anytime I see one of these numbers and it seems like they're baiting me into taking a side, I just take the other side. So I'm taking Washington. That's why I like Wentz this week. And just Tennessee has no defense either. You can pass. Matt Ryan just passed for like 300 yards all over them. Carson Wentz can kind of do revenge game. No, it's not a revenge game. That'd be against the Colts. I always lose track of who Carson Wentz plays for.
He played for enough.
Maybe still higher. There's some ill will there anyway. We don't know about.
Because more than likely. Like road favorites are hitting at like 47, not 47, like 43% this year. So it's like actually a good idea to fade road favorites. But the thing about it is, so if you was to apply that to this week, listen to the teams you'd be fading. You'd be fading Miami versus the Jets, which the number has come in 3.5. The hook is going now. You'd be fading Tennessee versus Washington, some of the low life teams in the league. You'd be fading San Francisco versus Carolina, who Pat already mentioned. You'd be fading Philadelphia versus Arizona, and then that would be it right there. So it's hitting at 43%, but when you try to apply it to this week, the home dogs are the Cardinals, who are terrible at home, Washington, who stinks, and the Jets been the Jets for the past 20 years.
If I was trying to like parse it out and figure it out, I like Miami. I like Miami, and I like the Eagles to roll Arizona.
Okay.
They're like how I just kind of talked about Carolina, where I think Carolina is going to end up being the right side of that game. That's how people are talking about Arizona. I just don't see it.
I don't either, man. It's not like they're flat and
heavy
boring
action
like
on their money line too. Heavy action on the Cardinals money line.
Of course, yeah. The Eagles have to lose. The Eagles are the Cardinals, but way better.
Eagles is I already laid the number with the Eagles.
The Eagles, I mean, the one thing to watch out with the Eagles, same reason I don't like the Cowboys, is if they play each other next week, it's a big look-ahead game, I think, for both teams.
Okay, I can see that.
I wonder what I mean, like, obviously the Eagles are probably the best team. I haven't checked the NFC East odds in a while. And I just wonder,
the Eagles might be minus 200 by now.
I was going to say, that's got to be, but the Giants are 3-1.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Can we bet the Giants not to make the playoffs? Because they're horrible.
Well, that is a good bet. Let me see what those numbers are right now. Giants not to make the playoffs.
NFC East.
A good one. I'm doing the thing right now.
Eagles are minus 300. Cowboys are plus 310. Giants are still plus 1,200. And the Commanders are 50-1
Dallas can still win the division. And I know I'm going to sound like a fan.
Oh, Dallas can win the division. The Giants are just bad.
Yeah,
what are the Giants outside of Saquon, except for having Saquon Barkley on their team? What do the Giants do well?
Hand the ball off to Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that's it.
That's really it. That's the only person they play that can score too.
They remind me of like the I don't want to say the Super Bowl winning Ravens when Trent Dilfer took over. But I mean, like,
you mean with the historic, the best defense in the history of football?
That's why I said they're not exactly the same. They remind me of them a little bit. Like, it's like you could hang in a game, like win 1917 and just scrape by. Like, their Pythagorean win-loss might not be great, but it seems like they're coached well enough to the point where they can actually hang.
Dayball is, but they've just played shit teams so far.
But there's no, like, hilarious clock mismanagement from Dayball. You know what I mean? Like,
no, but they have hilarious poor play from their horrible quarterback.
No, but then they had that funny Wildcat last week where Daniel Jones with a high ankle sprain was playing where Kadarius Toney should be, and Saquon Barkley was the up back. That was the only. Listen, I do think there's a gentleman. I think it's an adult in the. I hate to say the adult in the room thing because it sounds stupid, but like Dayball brought some credibility to the franchise. I feel like, but the bottom line is still. There's nothing credible about the roster. The roster is not credible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm with you.
There's no credibility in the roster.
The Seahawks are 20-1 to win the NFC West. What do we say, Pat?
I mean, Seahawks to make the playoffs are 15-1. I actually don't hate that.
That one's a lot better than 20-1 to win the division.
Yeah.
I think I'm on that one instead.
Pete Carroll's a good coach. You know what I'm saying? What you want to say about Pete Carroll? He's a good coach.
Geno Smith's good. I don't care what anyone said. Geno Smith's a good quarterback.
He's playing well.
Geno, if the Giants just had Geno Smith, they would be rolling right now.
Geno Smith finally has good weapons around him. Like that, you look at the Jets teams, man. They were horrible. It was like the best guy he had, like when he was a quarterback, was Eric Decker, and like then the second best was like Jeremy Curley. I mean, that's who he had to throw to. And that's over the course of 2 years.
He never played with Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall was gone by then.
Brandon Marshall was. If you look at the target leaders when Geno Smith was quarterback of the Jets. It's like, oh man, I remember him. Oh yeah, I definitely remember him. Like it's just it's Eric Decker and dudes who were on your waiver wire. It was, and now he's got Lockett and
year when that dude broke his nose, that was going to be his breakout year.
Yeah,
I really feel that was going to be his breakout year. I remember Quincy and Newton. Well, yeah, but I think that was going to be the breakout year. Then that dude broke his nose, and it never came to fruition after that. Speaking of Jet quarterbacks, Mark Sanchez was calling the game this weekend.
Very handsome.
As a matter of fact, he called the London game. Mark Sanchez, the very handsome Mark Sanchez, called the London game.
Does that mean he gets to stay there for the week and call the London game this week?
Oh man, wouldn't that be a poor assignment? If you had to do back-to-back London games, what kind of check would you want Fox to cut you?
That sounds great. That sounds
amazing.
Where are you get a free trip to London for 2 weeks? You ever been to London?
Great. No, I never been there. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, it's like fancy New York.
Oh, interesting. You ever watch Top Boy on Netflix?
No.
It's like a London version of The Wire.
Oh.
Yeah, interesting. I never watched it either. It's like dope boys with London accents. You know what I'm saying?
Do they come with subtitles for like the different parts of London? It's like, I don't know what they're saying over in East London. We need some subtitles.
I don't know if it has sub, but I know it's like that's what it's like. Like it's like dope boys with London accents. I think Drake might be the executive producer too.
Well, I can't wait for the Canadian version of The Wire now.
Dope boys with Canadian accents.
Wait, what was the Trailer Park Boys? That was the show that when I was in Canada, like everyone was, have you seen that? It's amazing. It's amazing.
Hate that show.
Yeah, I did. I gave it 5 episodes. And I'm like, I gotta get out of here. Sorry.
It is. I mean, it's from like it's a Nova Scotian show, and it takes place in the town next to where I grew up, and that's how at least I envisioned everyone who lived in that town. So it was too real for me.
Mark Sanchez is doing the London game again, so he probably did stay out there. Would be no reason to come back home.
If you live in New York, it's only a 5-hour flight. I mean, like it's not
so bad. It's just as long as going down. Like from my I flew to London a few months ago, and it was a 4.5-hour flight from here.
Oh,
your father, Pat, you almost live. You almost live in that place that CNN shows like at 11:30 p.m. That's this little part of Canada celebrates a half hour before everybody else.
Yeah, that's not me. That's Newfoundland, but I'm east. I'm east of Maine. Like we have a ferry that goes to Maine that takes 20 minutes.
How's Maine?
I mean, I can't remember the last time I went to Maine, probably 30 years ago. But.
Yeah, ferry all the time, man. What are you doing today? I'm going to Maine.
Ferry to Maine.
I think people go to outlet stores there.
Oh, they got shopping for cheap. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's why people go.
All right.
What's the exchange rate now? I know, like we're even with the euro. What are we with the Canadian dollar?
Oh no, I am just rolling in money right now because the Canadian dollar's like tanked and the U.S. dollar's gone up. So, like a month and a half ago, it was trading at like 122, and now it's 136, which is great. I just increased my net. I just increased my income by like 9% with doing nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but like, buy some gold, stabilize that, Pat.
No, I just got to cash out all my U.S. bucks into Canadian bucks.
This is great.
They do that in San Domingo too.
What?
Probably get a little bit more in San Domingo. You know, I grew up in Washington Heights area in New York. There's a lot of Dominicans, and they send the money. You know, they send the money to San Domingo, and they rich in San Domingo
because of the dollar bills.
Yeah, because of the dollar bills.
That makes sense.
Pat, I mean, now you can just do it in Bitcoin.
You can do that too. I just got some lit barbershops over there. If you've seen them on Instagram.
In Santo Domingo?
Yeah.
Interesting. I went to
like the barbershop and the gentleman club is combined in Santo Domingo.
Well, that only makes sense.
That actually does make way too much sense.
Like the places here, it's like, oh, you can play like Xbox while you get your hair cut.
Yeah.
I'd like the upgraded version of that, please.
Yeah, exactly.
Just want to close my eyes and not talk to you.
Pat,
right?
I can't remember.
Have you ever been to Cuba?
No.
You allowed to go to Cuba?
You can go whenever you want.
For a little while, and then it switched up again. But one of my homegirls was going to go. She had the outfits planned out and everything. Well, then the pandemic happened. Yeah. But I think by that time, like for like a year, you could just go over there. But now it's like you got to pull some strings to go over there now. And then when you go over there, you got to have your own bread, like your own cash and stuff, because I don't think you can. Our cards won't work in the ATM machines and stuff like that over there.
No. So I've been to Cuba a bunch of times because we're allowed to go. You guys aren't.
Yeah.
So, but it also becomes like a weird international hotspot for vacationing because there's no Americans there, and like no one wants to go on vacation and see Americans. So.
It's Texas. That's what it is. It's people from Texas. They're really trying to avoid the people from Texas because foreigners, like, they don't understand the big hats. You know what I'm saying? And the cowboy boots and the twang, and the Texas people, like, I'm telling you, somebody told me this before. They was like, when you go places and American tourists are there, it's the Texans really stand out. Then it's a lot of Texans too. You know what I'm saying?
It's all Americans. Don't think that you're not a part of this.
No, I thought it would not be me. I didn't think it would be me. I'm from New York.
Yeah, man. I can see Corey enhancing someone's London time.
Yeah. All you need to do to spot an American when you're on vacation is just open your ear like this.
And you'll hear him talking about how great America is. And America, this America. It's not this way in America.
Yeah, it's not this way in America. It's like, all right, go back to America. That's fine.
Pat, you got kids running around, man. Should we let you go? I mean, we could do this for
one of them
half
seems
hour,
to be sitting up on this high seat right now and jiggling around. He might fall.
All right.
Maybe it's time.
May want to handle that. You know.
Before we do have like 5 or 6 more questions about Jock Market, though, real quick.
Hit me.
No, I'm just kidding. Go, man. Go. Thank you for Emiliano Grillo. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Grillo. Here we go.
I'll put $5 on it and feel cheap about it.
Hey, Pat, you been watching the Jeffrey Dahmer joint?
Not yet, no. It's just with the kids around, my wife doesn't want it on.
Oh yeah, I don't blame that. Yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah.
Hey, one last question, Pat.
Gotta get a kid a nightmare. Nando, I don't know why you acting like this Jeffrey Dahmer thing is not a trending topic right now. It's the 9th most watched series in Netflix history. Like this thing is going crazy right now.
I don't doubt it. It was just like Pat's kid is about to fall off a high chair. Pat, how much would you pay for David Koresh's hair?
Hey, he is good. He is sitting back down in his seat. We got time to chat. I enjoyed Inventing Anna on Netflix. That was great.
I never seen that.
It was all right.
How was that?
The Anna Delvey story. She was like a fake New York socialite.
I need to watch that. Maybe tonight. Oh no, SMU and UCF play tonight, so I can't watch that tonight.
Oh no,
Pat, you got to get into American college football.
I used to be into college football. I used to be into college basketball. Then I just hit a point. It's like I can't watch everything, and it's the same people who like the CFL up here. It's like, why do I want to watch second-rate sports? Like, give me the best or don't give me anything.
I had the same problem. Once I started going to locker rooms too, I was like, it disillusioned me for a lot of baseball players. And then in college, a lot of the players were in my classes. And I'm like, well, you're like 19-year-olds, man. Like, it's so creepy now that I'm sitting there cheering for you. All these 40, 50-year-old men in the stands cheering for these 19-year-olds who are just like normal dudes trying to what?
This is going to be great, though. It's the University of Central Florida versus Southern Methodist University. And the game of pigskin. Right?
Okay, I gotta go. This guy's gonna fall out of his seat.
Go, Pat. Go. Thank you. Thank you for
college
hanging.
Football ran Pat.
All the support.
That was good stuff, Nando.
I wonder if he just first of all, there are probably no kids in the house, and secondly, like, what am I doing? I got to get my name off this as soon as possible.
SMU and UCF was nail in the coffin.
Hold on.
College football game tonight.
Kyle Elfrink's nice and safe and has a show. I can do that one.
Yeah.
Next week, yeah. Lunch Money presented by Mayo Media Network.
I'm going to pull up the splits for the college football game tonight.
Let's do it.
And then I'm going to give you all a handicap on the college football game tonight. I already have one, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if I wrote it down or not. And then I want to talk to some of our friends. Somebody hit the call button and come on here and talk to us.
Yeah, that'd be nice. Should we take a break? Let everyone think, decide amongst themselves who's going to call in, and then we'll.
Exactly. Then we should let's take a break.
Let's do that.
Let somebody call in so we can talk to somebody different.
We still got waiver wire to talk about.
I still don't mind. I don't mind talking to Nando, but I just want to. I want people to know that I want to talk to y'all too.
Yeah, I feel like we want to field your questions about waiver wires and stuff too. So drop them in the comments. We're here for you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just not me and Nando talking. It's like there's a service behind this as well.
Yeah, it gets us going on all kinds of tangents. So we appreciate that. We take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corey Nando and Friends, presented by for the last time, Mayo Media Network, and sponsored by Jock Market. Make sure you push in code FRIENDS if you're going to go try and download Jock Market and play it. If you like what you heard with Pat, the way he explained it all, Friends will get you matching deposits and risk-free bets. Risk-free markets. Come back. We'll still be here for another 20 minutes until Fenstein and Ronas take over. See you in a minute.
Corey Nando and Friends is sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every hour, every minute, every second of every game. The Playbook with Fenstein and Ronas, presented by FantasyAlarm.com.
I think it's hard to judge Daniel Jones. He's got no offensive line and he's got no weapons. So, he still made a couple of bad decisions this year, but it's really hard to judge him. And that's the difficult part for the Giants. They have to figure out if he's the guy. How can you make that assessment when he's throwing a Kenny Golladay who can't catch anything?
Jones in a shotgun set. Back to throw. Has time. Fastball to the right side. Golladay makes the catch, but then he fell down and he never controlled it. It's incomplete. He tried to run away from the defender and he dropped it.
I mean, Richie James, look at this. It is bad. They really need Wan'Dale Robinson and Kadarius Toney out there. And even then, it's still not enough. And I believe Daniel Jones is the most pressured quarterback in football. And it's going to be hard for him to have success.
Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media.
What can we say about 5 more passes batted at the line by Baker Mayfield? That's 12 for the season. I've never seen anything like this. Last year's leader had 17 for the entire season. Mayfield's on pace for 51, and the Panthers barely throw.
Thank you. They barely throw. They don't make no explosive plays. They can't do nothing offensively. But when you look at this team, they ran 51 plays yesterday. They had 220 total yards. They ran the ball for 40 yards. They threw the ball for 180. On the throws, it was under 5 yards a pass. They are using their short passing game as a running game, but it ain't going nowhere. There's no explosive plays from anybody. Baker Mayfield's a dog, and that was just a terrible display of football. There was a reason to boo. There's a reason to be calling for Rule's job. There's a reason to want everybody out in Carolina because that thing is pitiful.
Lunch Money with Kyle and Ray, presented by FantasyGuru.com.
We are hearing reports, Ray, that people felt this was so unfair and so dastardly that people are like changing rules and allowing folks to remove Kamara from their starting lineup. You cannot break this rule. This is lousy, Ray, and I hate the precedent that some people are setting with this.
Later on, the commissioner said, oh, yeah, sorry, you didn't get up at 6 a.m. today. We'll allow you to make a switch. Sorry. If you're mad at something here, you don't get mad at your league, you don't get mad at the rules, you don't get mad at your commissioner, you get mad at the bloody NFL, who I have said all along, what are we doing here? Why are we trying to take over the world?
It's just bad luck, Ray. This happens a lot, doesn't it? It just doesn't happen with the likes of Alvin Kamara. You got to be awake when the actives and inactives come out.
But again, if you want to lay blame, it's the NFL. Why is the NFL playing games that the majority of the people in the United States aren't even awake for? What are they doing? Isn't it our league? North America's league, or is it Europe's league? So if you're mad at someone, you're mad at the NFL.
Play clock gets down to 9. He's changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Taylor the back. Ryan under center. They get off to Taylor. Taylor's hit, but he bounces into the end zone. Touchdown! I-N-D-Y! Jonathan Taylor makes it 20-12.
Excellent. I had to wait too long for that call today.
This is Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media and sponsored by Jock Market. Make real money every second of every game.
Welcome back, everybody. Corey Nando and Friends, presented by Mayo Media, brought to you by Jock Market. It's Colts Radio Network, Jonathan Taylor, who is out. And so I guess, I mean, look, a lonely nation turns its eyes to Nyheim Hines, but I feel like when this happens, it doesn't actually happen. You know, like, I'm like, is Nyheim Hines going to have 147 yards and 2 receiving touchdowns? You know, like that kind of thing? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. It seems too obvious, right? Is that what we're looking for?
This is going to be a heavy dose of Matt Ryan dropping back to pass, which could be a very bad thing versus Denver Broncos offense. I don't know. I still like the Colts to cover the 3.5, but listen, stuff is not getting better for the Colts. It's getting worse.
Yep.
And if you said you have let's just say you have a high ankle sprain, which is a month injury for the most part, particularly for a running back.
Yeah.
Now you don't have your best player for a month. Your O-line is struggling. Now you're not going to be able to really run well at all. Now you got Matt Ryan, who, you know, a month ago we said he might be washed up. You mentioned that, Nando. Sure enough, he's washed up.
Yeah. I meant more like I was speaking more like, hey, maybe he could be washed up, not like he is. I don't want to take credit for that, but that was a very present.
Yeah, he's washed up. You know what I'm saying? It don't look good. You know what I mean? A tie, 2 losses. Had to win over the Chiefs. Listen, I really think they're going to have a moment tomorrow where they do play better. I do like them tomorrow, though. I really do. I don't like them enough to sprinkle it on the money line, but I do like them catching the 3.5. The Taylor thing is tough. Hopefully, he can get back for that game on the 16th.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be off this week, have 10 days to rest. So maybe he can get back for that game right there. I think it could be tough. But when you look at, you know, the depth chart and what they are behind Taylor is Hines and Deion Jackson. So you'll see a good amount of Hines out the backfield as a pass catcher. Mainly for the most part, Hines is rostered in a bunch of places. People, you know, as being the main guy and the guy. He don't have no standalone value, Nyheim Hines, but he's rostered. I don't know nothing about Deion Jackson. What school did Deion Jackson go to? He went to Duke.
All right.
So did Daniel Jones. So there you go. So there you go right there. And he's not having, much success. You look at Deion Jackson game log, and it's really this is his second year right here. He carried the ball twice earlier this season in week number 2, and that loss terrible. So I think Ethan says Hunt or Hines. Who's Hunt?
Kareem Hunt.
Oh, okay. I'd play Kareem Hunt. I'd have more. And then again,
I don't know, man. I mean, look,
Hines got the backfield to himself, unless you think Deion Jackson is something.
I don't know. I don't know. This is the problem. Like, I don't know.
Deion Jackson highlight right here. We should ask Emery about Deion Jackson yesterday when he had him. I'm sure Emery would have had a full breakdown on Deion Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he went to Duke. I mean, it's not like he went to, Duke Southern State University, and not like it's, there should be enough on him that, I'm sure Emery has the best of takes on him, but we could ask like Mayo about him probably, someone who pays decent attention to college football.
No, not Pat Mayo.
Not Pat Mayo. Bad example.
Yeah, it's a bad
but you know
example.
what I mean. I want to check Nyheim Hines.
Sports.
In my brain, without looking this up and having bathed in NFL for the last several years, I don't think Nyheim Hines actually had more than 15 carries in a game. I could be wrong. I want to check that out because I want to see what has he gotten the chance? Or is he just the complimentary
he's had plenty
back?
of opportunities. If you ask me, he's had plenty of opportunities. Listen,
he's been a complimentary back all this time, though.
Yeah, he has been. But he's been in the league for a while since 2018, so he's not a newcomer. You know what I'm saying? Pedigree, North Carolina State, playing, but he has definitely been a complimentary back. You're right. For the most
Never
part.
got more. Never got more than 15.
He doesn't really carry the football at all. Now,
that was 2018.
He is utilized heavily in the passing game. He can run between the tackles. He does have that ability. See, it's times like this where I know the Colts wish they had Marlon Mack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Because that's somebody that you could have slotted in there and still would have got that work done. The problem with the Colts is their offensive line outside of – see, the Colts have a great offensive lineman in Quentin Nelson, but they don't have a great offensive line.
Right.
He's good. The rest of them suck. That's the problem with the Colts.
Yeah.
And then their defense is not as good as it's cracked up to be as well. We were sold a false bill of goods on the Colts, but me and you kind of thought that could have been the case coming into the season. With that being said, Hines does have the backfield to himself. Hunt split with Chubb.
I don't know. So I don't know if he. All right. So it looks like Hines has started 5 games his career, technically. You know what I mean? Like he's got the little star next to him, Pro Football Reference. He's only gotten more than 10 carries 4 times, and he's been in the league since 2018. And none of those were. It was 2 in 2018 and 2 games in 2020 when he had 10 or more carries. Blowout loss, blowout win, and then a blowout loss to New England. It looks like.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been in close games. His averages have been all over the place. 2 of the game, 3 yards per carry, 2.9, 5.83, 7.09. If you look at those 4 games where he had a bulk of carries, bunch of targets. I mean, if they decide he's going to be their starting running back, which it doesn't. I mean, Nick Sirianni, it seems like the history of him, being there a year and a few games, hasn't given him a lot of carries. So maybe Deion Jackson is the answer here, and Hines just going to continue to be the complimentary back.
Well, I'll throw something on Deion Jackson in Jock Market. Maybe I'll buy a couple shares, you know what I'm saying, and see if he does pop off. Maybe the case like that could be something that's going to happen. But when we look at the Denver Broncos, you know what I'm saying, they only allow 114 rushing yards a game, right? They only allow 170 passing yards a game. This is going to be a situation where Matt Ryan is going to say, I'm not even going to try. They're not even going to try to run the football. They're going to throw, and that's going to be it. The Colts are undervalued in this spot, to be honest with you. They are, because Denver's not that good. And I feel like getting away from home and their home crowd booing at them could do a service for the Colts. You know what I'm saying?
Deion Jackson in college, I mean, it didn't look great. I mean, maybe Duke was a passing offense. It doesn't look like he had a ton of – he never had more than 847 yards rushing. 26 receptions,
full
21
screen.
10.
Did you notice we just went to a full screen just now?
Hey, look at that. Hey, Truck, did we switch spots? We lost that guy on the screen.
Yeah, we went to a full screen just now. That's interesting.
Yeah, all right, not bad.
Yeah.
I like the look. I like that look. No, we did. We did switch spots, Truck. You're welcome. We're sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but we switched spots. We still number one in your heart.
And, you know, we could be going over this and looking at this, and at the end of the day, that you know they might carry the ball 15. You know what I mean? Like they might just not use either of them and just go.
That's what I'm saying. This is going to be a Matt
you're
Ryan drop back and pass game. That's exactly
who that just happened to. Who just passed 10 times? We're like, oh, let's go through all these wide receivers and everything. It was Atlanta. Was it Atlanta? Who's like, you know, who like is it going to be Drake London? Is it going to be Kyle Pitts? They're going to fix themselves this week. And then they just ran it a billion times.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That could be the case. I think it's going to be heavy Matt Ryan drop back to pass. But here's the thing: the Broncos. I guarantee you, the Broncos will outplay the Colts, but the Colts will have a chance to win the game in the end. The Broncos will let the Colts hang around. The Broncos will 100% let the Colts hang around in this game.
That's interesting. I would like to say, like, this game is going to be confusing enough to me where I'm not going to. It's a Thursday night game. A lot of weird stuff going on. Both running backs out. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah.
Russell Wilson's been garbage. Matt Ryan's been garbage. You know what I mean? Like what? Like why would anyone touch this game? Like unless you have some kind of crazy insight. Like your gut sounds like the most legitimate bit of analysis I've heard. You know what I mean?
And I think that's the only analysis that you really need on this one because they're not going to be able to do much but try, and they're not. And it makes no sense to keep running the ball up in that into the teeth of that Bronco defense on the road. Manage the game, play the game slow. Use your. It should be a good game for Michael Pittman. Well, he's probably going to draw Surtain, who's an excellent young cornerback. So, yeah, he'll spread it around. The thing about it is the offensive line. The Colts' offensive line has to play better.
Yeah.
Please pick three. Judy, Reynolds, Zay Jones, Curtis Samuels. 3 wide receivers between Judy, who got back into it last week.
Yep.
Samuel, man, this is. I would go with the 2 questionable dudes and Judy.
So
that's how I would play it.
Judy, Keenan Allen, Hunter. Is this PPR? I mean, it doesn't matter PPR for this. I don't think it matters.
I don't think so either.
Judy, Keenan Allen. Well, I guess Hunter Renfrow. If it's half PPR, I might go Curtis Samuel over Hunter Renfrow.
Who Washington play this week?
I don't think this is going to be one of those wrong answers. I think Tennessee. The wrong answer here would be Reynolds. You know what I mean? Like I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I think everyone's going to do all right.
I would agree with that. These is all kind of the same. You want to take the home run shot, play Zay.
Right. Who they're playing Houston, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Josh Reynolds, man. I don't know. Like he's the one of these. Speaking of Sesame Street. One of these kids is doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Reynolds is the one who's doing his own thing for me. Everyone else looks like they have either, tremendous breakout potential or they've shown it already this season or they'll at least,
what has Reynolds really done this year? You know what I'm saying?
Right. So I know Reynolds coming in was, something.
See, here's the thing. With the Lions injury situations, right?
Yeah.
Reynolds could be an option with the Lions injury situation because we saw, but not mind you, last week was a true shootout. And he got 8 targets. In the last 2 weeks, he's had 18 targets. Well, no, in the last 2 weeks, Reynolds has had 18 targets. I would probably try to get Reynolds in that lineup. I would, because he had the targets the last couple weeks. And then this week, you know what I'm saying? You have those injuries. If those injuries pile up again, which I think they will, I don't think we're going to have my man St. Brown back. Swift won't be back. And then, nobody is going to be, Hawkinson is not going to sneak up on nobody this week. I don't think Josh Reynolds is a bad play. I think I would play Josh Reynolds this week.
You got to take someone out. That's the problem.
Man,
that's the catch. I think that's why Eason's here.
Yeah. Should I trade Aaron Jones? Should I trade Aaron Jones for CeeDee Lamb? I don't know what your roster look like. Mano a mano, that looks like a good trade. But I don't know what you really need. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to look at. I don't know what your team, your roster construction looks like. but I can see making that move, depending on what your roster needs are.
That seems pretty even to me. Again, yeah. I always hate. Surrey, thanks for the question. I always think this is like one of those cop outs. It always sounds like a cop out when I hear someone else be like, "Well, I need to know your roster makeup," and then I'm 0-4 with Herbert, Najee, Cook, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jamar Chase, I assume, Mark Andrews, Aaron Jones. That's a pretty good core. Yeah, it seems like you're an unlucky 0-4 actually. You're running back to Najee Harris and Dalvin.
Well,
Dalvin
Najee Harris hasn't stepped up. Dalvin Cook has kind of been hit or miss. He's done well, but he hasn't gone crazy. He got Jamal Williams, Josh Jacobs, and I would do that because you have enough wide receiver real estate. We have enough running back real estate to where you can make that move. Yeah, so I would do that. I hate trading away from running back depth because you can be deep at running back on Saturday and that can be gone on Monday. I lost Jonathan Taylor and Javonte Williams on the same team this week.
Dude, that's what. So, but it does look like there's no wide receivers on the bench here. The bench is Jamal Williams, Josh Jacobs, TJ Hawkinson.
Yes, that's why I see with no St. Brown.
Yeah.
Right? And then it's you got Mark Andrews and Hawkinson. You can play Hawkinson at the flex, Andrews at the tight end, right? Without St. Brown, you're going to need some. Jamar's Chase. So and the Judy's on the bench. I would make that trade.
This is a stacked team, man. How is this known for? You know what? I wouldn't do anything.
They're not hitting at the same time.
Yeah, that's
more than likely you had Jamal Williams on the bench when he went off. You probably had Jacobs on the bench when he went off. Najee's been a donut. St. Brown and Herbert have given you like most teams. You have 2 or 3 guys that go off. The rest of the guys give you single digits.
Surya
coming off the bad week this week. Andrews had a couple good weeks, a couple bad weeks.
I wonder if Surya ran by points, like the PF versus PA column. I bet you this is a team that's like top 6 in points.
Yeah, probably
0-4, but top 6 in points.
Yeah, you see, he had Jacobs and Hawkinson on the bench last week. You see that right there.
That's
all the more reason to go to best ball. All the more reason to draft it and forget it. You know what I'm saying? Because I would be. You know how frustrated I'd have been on Sunday with Jacobs and Hawkinson, who ain't done nothing all season. All of a sudden, 30 burgers. I would have been livid. This is the perfect reason why best ball draft champions could be the future of fantasy football.
Like Hawkinson, I think you would have started though. Like knowing everybody who was out.
He got Mark Andrews. Why would you start Hawkinson if you got Mark Andrews?
Put him in flex.
That's true too. And then especially with nobody, with the Lions not having nobody to throw to. You know what I mean?
That one was. Look, see what happens with DJ Chark. I think DJ Chark was like the key for Hawkinson. But maybe if he's around, maybe it complicates things a little bit. I don't know if I would flex Hawkinson if DJ Chark is healthy. But with Amon-Ra St. Brown out. Reynolds, by the way, Reynolds isn't practicing. Yeah, so Reynolds is hurt too.
Today's Wednesday though.
Yeah, well, I guess he didn't practice yesterday.
Yeah. So let's see what he looks like the rest of the week. How will you guys feel about Christian Watson? Is he developing fast enough to be fantasy relevant this year? If I had the roster real estate, I would hold on to him. I wouldn't feel comfortable putting him in the starting lineup yet. Why in the world would you have Hawk and Andrews? Oh, well, because Hawkinson probably was late round pick,
cheap,
round 15, round 14. There's nothing wrong with that.
On that note, we gotta go.
It's crazy. Oh yeah. All right. Well, I don't want to.
I mean, that's why I thought you were answering so quickly.
I don't want to mess up the back time. Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Pat Mayo. We'll be back tomorrow with Jeff from NJ Holdings Company.